What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Got a special client interview today with my guy, Justin. Justin's been in the program for quite some time now, but Justin, don't want to see your thunder. Why don't you go ahead, introduce yourself, and we can take it from there.
What's going on, Nick? My name is Justin Hirschberg. I've been in the program just over a year now. I am a baseball mental performance coach and I specialize in pitchers at the high school and college level. I joined Nick's program at the end of grad school. So I got my master's in sports psychology. As I was finishing up school, I came across one of your ads that same day, discovered who you were, what your program was, booked a call, and I think within 3 or 4 days, I was a client and haven't looked back.
Amazing. What a process. What a process. Well, why don't we start off? Obviously, you just got done with grad school. Maybe give a little bit of background on like who you are and kind of like what even inspired you to want to do like mental performance coaching.
Yeah, so I pitched in college, but my whole MO was the crafty lefty, didn't throw very hard, had to rely on my off speed, the ability to throw strikes, and pretty much the mentality that no matter who I was going to face, I was going to get them out. And that mentality and that mental toughness got me to college and allowed me to succeed for a couple of years. And then towards the end of college, I like to just say I hit a mental wall and didn't really know how to fix it, didn't know what to do. I stopped actively applying my mental skills and I got exposed. And that taught me right there how important the mental side of baseball is. And it made me realize my passion for that field. And so I discovered then that, I never wanted another pitcher to go through what I was going through and to really be elite, especially when you watch MLB pitchers. It's the mental skills that we teach, and I want to teach that to the next generation and help them be their best and allow them to get those scholarships and play at the next level.
Yeah, sick. Sick. And then I don't know if you said this. What did you end up studying in grad school?
So my master's was in sports psychology.
Yeah.
So it's directly related to becoming a mental performance coach.
Sweet. Okay. And were before you joined the program, were you thinking about getting into like online coaching specifically, or like what was your plan?
Before I saw that one ad, I did not know online coaching existed. My whole plan coming out of grad school was to apply for a job with an MLB team or work for a team or do my own consulting, but have it be in person, one-on-one, weekly meetings, that type of thing. I didn't really know that this was a possibility. And it took me a while to actually understand it. But then I realized once I did get what online coaching was, it allowed me to broaden my horizons and be able to work with anybody, which I think has been fantastic so far for me.
Yeah, sweet. Okay. So obviously you weren't even aware of online coaching until you saw my ad. Then like 3 or 4 days later, you joined the program. What was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back, or like what made you want to, take a bet on yourself and take the risk and actually join the program?
I knew that if I worked for a team or I didn't, the end goal was always to work for myself. My parents are both entrepreneurs. They both started their own businesses, and I want that freedom. And I decided then and there that I could sit around and wait for the perfect job to come, or I could create it myself. And that was the final straw. Is like, hey, I'm coming out of school. I don't have any plans. Why not just try something new and see where it can go? And I like to believe that if I'm going to fail, I might as well fail giving it 100% instead of one foot in, one foot out, and then never truly knowing how far I could take it.
Yeah, sick. Sick. Okay. So obviously you jump into the program. You're like, all right, what is this online coaching thing? Maybe just kind of walk through how you were feeling first, like, 7 to 14 days. Like, what was that like?
It was a lot of information to take in, and it was a lot of kind of building the backbone of what my program was going to look like. And because I didn't know that it was a thing, I didn't know how to build my program. So it took me a couple weeks to really kind of identify what that could look like and how to make it as good as possible. I took a lot of actually your program and kind of made it into my own to be able to use that for my athletes because I wanted it to be more than just the once a week, hey, we're going to talk for an hour and then not talk again. That really hit home for me. And I know you use that analogy a lot, but thinking back on growing up and my pitching coaches, I'd see them once a week. I wouldn't do anything for the 6 days in between. And I got better, but I didn't get good enough as fast as I wanted to. And when I work with athletes on the mental side, I don't want it to just be, hey, I talk to you once a week. I want them to learn how to do it, do something every day, be able to apply themselves every day. And then when we do talk, it's more of a, hey, let's catch up, let's answer any questions, and then continue to push forward. And so I don't even remember what your question was, but I took the first couple of weeks to build the structure, learn what that could look like, and then go from there.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. So if you could explain your program then, like the actual structure of what that looks like, maybe to like a 6-year-old, and try and dumb it down, like how would you describe like what your program actually is and how you're getting these athletes results in an online setting?
Yeah, so I'll say that when people think of mental performance, they immediately think of motivation and online quotes and videos to hype themselves up. But I come from more of a practicality standpoint where that's good, but I want to know when I'm on the mound what exactly I'm going to do to give myself the best chance to succeed. So my program teaches the actual implementable mental skills to be able to pitch with confidence, throw more strikes, throw harder, and play more free. And so my program is a 12-week program where each week we kind of dive into a different mental skill. I break it down into short little daily videos for these athletes to watch, give them all these resources to be able to apply it to their own game, and find ways for them to continue to implement it in practices, bullpens, games. That way it's not just ideas, but it's more application. And I think it works and I've seen some success and I just keep going back to what would I have wanted when I was a pitcher, and I think this is exactly what that would be.
That's cool. That's cool. So you feel like you built the program that you wish you had when you were playing.
100%. And I learned about the mental side early on, but I didn't necessarily know the exact mental skills and when to use them and why and how. And I don't like to overcomplicate things, but I think when I teach it to these athletes, they have a better understanding of their own mental game and have a toolbox full of mental tools that they can rely on when they need to.
Yeah, sick. Sick. Okay, so you build out this program for the first couple weeks. That's kind of what it looks like. Then from there, like just kind of walk me through maybe like the next month or so. I mean, were you signing up a bunch of athletes right away? Were you making a bunch of content? Like, what did that look like for you?
Yeah, so I immediately started an Instagram. So I started from scratch. The day I joined the program, I created my Instagram, zero followers, zero posts.
Like,
Uh, and took a lot of you guys' advice about what posts look like, what I should be doing, but I didn't really get a lot of traction, I'd say, for the first couple months. And I wasn't really interested on taking guys on right away. I wanted to build the foundation first. So that first month or two, I was building the program, building the scheduling link, building a landing page, like doing everything I needed to do that when the clients came, I was ready to go. And I think that really did set me up for success because I wasn't just guessing when I needed to, is, hey, when I get my first client, this is what it's going to look like. I have everything already set up, or at least the first part of it, and I can make the adjustments from there. And so, first 5 months, probably got one client, but just, day by day, kept posting, kept giving him my full attention, making it the best client I could have, and trusting the process along the way.
yeah, that's crazy, dude. A lot of people would probably give up only getting one client in 5 months. What gave you that conviction to keep pushing despite the fact that maybe in the first 5 months, like you didn't necessarily see the sexy results that I post on my Instagram,
I think it's the belief that good things take time and knowing that if I just do the work and commit to my process, the results will eventually come. But if I wake up every day and say, hey, if I don't get a client, it's a bad day, then I'm going to let that affect how I feel and affect what I actually do. But the action of working on the program, creating videos, talking to the client, DMing people, like if I could wake up and do that every day, then I knew eventually it would pay off.
Yeah. Yeah. Sweet. Okay. And a little bit of a side tangent. Were you like working a job at the same time for like these first few months?
Yeah, so I've always worked. I was never related to mental performance, but when I got out of school, I got a job just working at a country club to make some money. I wasn't at the point where this was paying all the bills. I'm actually quitting my job next week to go all in on this business and gonna just see where I can take it. But it's a good feeling.
Yeah. That's amazing, bro. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You didn't want to work at a country club forever?
I did not. I didn't want to spend my time there thinking about the business, thinking about the videos I could be making or the conversations I could be having. I'd rather dedicate everything I have to growing Hirschberg performance.
Yeah. It's amazing, bro. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Matt told me that, but you hadn't told me that to my face yet. So I want to say congrats, bro.
Yeah, next Monday is my last day, so two more shifts and then I'm out of there.
Yeah. Sick. Okay. So obviously now the business is in a good place, but for the first 5 months, you only got one client, right? What was that maybe breakthrough for you to where you could actually like get a little bit of like real momentum?
I think it's when I got more consistent with the content where I'd
Mm,
post 4 or 5 days a week. It wasn't the best videos. And then I kind of said, hey, if this is what people are going to see, let me make it as good as possible, but also put out more stuff so people see me more often. And I think when I made that shift to posting more of his results, posting just more information, more stuff out there, people started to see me more and they started to realize, hey, this is something that I can do and I can benefit from. And it just kind of happened from there.
yeah. And what do you feel like that learning curve is like never having posted content before, starting an Instagram from scratch to, how many times a week would you say you post now?
Right now, it's probably 10 to 14 posts a week, so almost two a day, I'd say consistently.
Nice. Okay.
If I ever want a good laugh, I'll go back and look at my first couple videos. They're over edited, pretty funny, but it just took a lot of trial and error, I would say. And one thing that I truly believe is the second I stopped forcing it and stopped forcing people to come to me, they started to come to me. And it's the same thing with like success in baseball or anything. The more you try and make it happen, the more you're going to interfere with yourself and just not let it actually play its course. And I think if you commit to what you want to do and just let everything else take care of itself, it will work out for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a huge believer in that, dude. I'm a huge believer in that. And obviously, you're living proof. So, okay, you stopped forcing it. What, like, obviously, it's like a little bit woo woo, right? Like, tactically, tangibly, what did that actually do for you? Like, did you start getting more views? Did you start getting more people to reach out to you? Like, what did that kind of look like as a result?
I think it started with me not caring as much about the actual analytics of the posts. I stopped
Mm.
like relying on likes and comments and follows to dictate how I felt. I'll always remember I was stuck at 300 followers for probably 2 months. And I was like, okay, something's off. I need to change something. And I was like, okay, no, let me just commit to what I'm doing, not care about that because I know that I'm moving in the right direction every day and then just let it work out. And now I'm almost 2,000 followers, like continuing to grow, continuing to just, you know, let it happen. And I think the more I just put out good stuff and be true to myself, people will be more attracted to that and want to work with me. Instead
Yeah.
of, hey, this is what I do, please work with me. Like I need you to work with me because I need clients. It's no, hey, this is what mental performance is. This is why it's helpful and beneficial to you. Do with it what you want, but here are the results. It's on you if you don't end up doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. That's sweet. And you've been able to attract some pretty high level clients too.
Yeah, had a couple D1, couple JUCO, couple like nationally ranked high schoolers. It's been pretty good. I think just comes back to marketing myself well, showing that I can teach high level clients, high level athletes, and other people of the same caliber will see that as well. But it's been fun because I enjoy working with that level of athlete. I like helping the best athletes be their best, and it's been pretty rewarding seeing people of that level continue to grow and continue to say that what I do helps them.
Yeah. That's amazing, bro. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Did you feel some type of way working with D1 guys? Like, you didn't really go into your background, but for the people, like, were you like a big time like D1 pitcher, like draft prospect as a player yourself?
No, I was a Division 3 pitcher. No scholarship because they don't do that, but it was more of a I played in college because that was the dream, but I never had aspirations to play beyond it just because I knew my capabilities weren't there. But that didn't mean I didn't love high performing athletes and want to strive to be that level. And so now that I'm done and do this as a job, it's like everything I do is about helping high performers be their best. And so I think Division 1 athletes are cool. I don't think they are any better than the D2 or JUCO guys who want it just as badly. I think it's a cool thing to say, but it's not the end all be all for me.
Yeah, sure. Sure. Okay. So you start posting more content, you start getting more followers, you start, attracting people to your page. Is there anything that you feel like was a huge needle mover for you? Maybe like an aha moment in the program, something that Matt said, like a module. Like, is there something in particular that you could point to and say, like, yeah, this was kind of a turning point for me?
I think it was an accumulation of a couple controversial videos, a couple of just videos of me not being afraid to be myself and people liking the authenticity instead of me trying to appease to the masses. It's like, hey, this is what I am, this is what I do, this is what I believe. If you don't believe me, that's okay. You're allowed to disagree with me, but that's what makes us human. This is my opinion. That combined with having some athletes finish the program and be able to speak on the results or continuously updating me with wins throughout and being able to show that to other people helped, I think, kind of finalizing what the sales script would look like, knowing how to close people because you can get them on a call, which is cool, but if you can't close them, then you don't get the clients. And I think understanding that the whole sales process is not just one thing you have to master, it's a whole accumulation. You have to get them on the call, you got to win them over, you got to get them to pay you. It's like once I can just slowly get better at each step of that, then the numbers start working out for themselves. And I think over time, it took me a lot of time to realize that I'll never master everything, but I'll continue to get better at it and continue to see better results the more I put in.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, super well said. Super well said. And you've alluded to it a little bit on like the things that maybe you've learned inside the program. For somebody, an outsider looking in, how would you say Remote Training University and our program and our team have been able to like tactically help you, right? Because there's a lot of people out there that watch my content and maybe don't quite understand like, what it is that we do. You get what I mean?
Yeah, and there's a lot that goes into being a successful online coach. And I think you guys cover pretty much all of the bases. And for me, the biggest thing I could have done for my own career was create this online program that I can give to my athletes. And if I didn't have Remote Training University, I would have known what it looks like, what website to use, how to film videos, what to do to actually, check in on people, how to give them these forms to continue to complete. It's like everything that you gave me, I'm giving back to my athletes. And I'm not copying you, but I'm using you as the guide of, hey, this is how Nick teaches us. I'm going to use that to teach my athletes. And of course, I put my own twist on it and teach my own things, but the actual structure I took from you, and I don't think I ever would have been able to get there, or at least it would have taken a lot longer to figure that out.
Yeah, I'm glad you did, bro. That's why it's there.
Yeah, thank you. And I think my athletes are happy that I did that as well.
Yeah, sick. Okay. And from an outsider looking in, like obviously you paid money to be a part of an online coaching program to teach you how to coach athletes online. It seems a little bit ridiculous. What would you say to maybe somebody who's on the fence right now, outside looking in, who's like, is this really like, is this real?
I think the best coaches need coaches, and it's the accountability as well. If I were to do this by myself, I would be not harming the athletes that I work with, but I wouldn't be giving them the best care that I can because I would just be winging it, trying to figure things out as I go instead of, hey, let me work with people who have done it before. Let me go to them for guidance, ask them questions every week, and not feel like I'm doing it alone. And even though all the coaches in the program aren't all mental performance coaches, I still learn so much from every single person. I can get on a group call, not speak a word, but learn a ton of stuff about my own business just from listening to other people tell their stories and ask their questions. And that sense of community is huge. I feel like I'm friends with all the other coaches. I'm excited to meet everybody, but even just through our computers, like we all are going through the same thing and we're all experiencing it together. And it's pretty cool to see other people progress as well.
Yeah, 100%. And I think you alluded to it a little bit, but you said you're excited to meet everybody. You never been to an event. What made you want to attend this next one?
Honestly, I'm just excited to network and any chance I get to talk to you and the other coaches or the other coaches in this, like I learn stuff and I'm an open book and ready to just learn anything I can to make my business better. And being in person for 48 hours or whatever it is just more opportunities to build these relationships, build these trusts with you guys, and really just soak in everything I can and see what the people above me who are doing it more successfully or doing differently or just hearing their stories is going to be cool as well.
Yeah, sick, bro. And obviously, like you've been a member of the community for the past year. Who would you say that the program is for that, like, yeah, absolutely need to do it versus who is the program not for?
I think it's for coaches who really want to do it and do it to their best ability to help any and everybody. And once you get over the hurdle of I can only coach people within 10 miles of me, you can really understand that there's hundreds, thousands, hundreds of thousands of athletes who you can help, who need your help. Just because they're not near you doesn't mean you can't actually provide a valuable service and change their lives. And so I think any coach who wants to make that kind of impact and help anybody and everybody within their ideal avatar, I think this is the perfect program to learn about how to do it, learn about what the right way to do it is, and then really just, have that open mindset of anything is possible. And the more I give to it and the more I'm open to learning and trying new things, like I don't see any cap on what the growth is going to look like for me and my business or any of the other coaches in here.
Yeah, that's sick, dude. That's cool. Okay. Well, I guess plans for the future for you. Obviously, you're quitting your job now. What is the next, 6 months look like for you now that you don't have somebody telling you what time you got to be at work?
The goal is to lock in on the stuff that I've been putting off. I want to grow my YouTube channel, start making more long form content. I want to dive into more Instagram and TikTok videos, doing two, three a day consistently, like making that my baseline. I want to spend more time conversing with these athletes, trying to get them on the calls, like doing more of the behind the scenes stuff. Because, I can sit here and post twice a day and tell myself that's enough, but there's so much behind the scenes that I can be doing and I want to be doing that I think with just more time, I won't have any excuses not to do it.
Yeah, 100%. And I guess out of curiosity, dude, like how much per week right now would you say that you're dedicating towards just your online business?
While I was working at this job, I mean, it was, let's just say the 4 days I wasn't working, I was dedicating, I would say all day to it. I would say I'd spend every waking minute thinking of content ideas or what I can do differently. And then even when I'm at work, it's, hey, I have these ideas, but I can't actually do it. I can't put it into action because I'm somewhere that I don't want to be. So now that I have more free time to actually do the things, I think that's going to be the biggest change is putting it into action instead of just letting it be ideas.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Well, awesome, dude. That's really all I had for you. I guess last thing is like anything else you want to say, like while we got the camera rolling here.
I just appreciate what you and your team do. I know I only see you once a week, but you have amazing people working for you that do an amazing job at helping us and caring for us. And it doesn't go unnoticed. I know that if I posted something today in the community, you'd respond in 20 minutes saying congratulations and being our biggest supporters. And, if anybody has any technical questions, I know you're right there to answer it. And the ability to not go through this alone has been huge. And, I'm just excited to continue to grow and continue to help. I'm I'm excited to continue to grow and continue to have you in our corner to help me grow as well.
Yeah,
But
of course.
it's been amazing, and this is just the beginning. I truly believe that for the next couple years, like this is gonna take off and really just be everything I wanted it to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I want to say congratulations, bro. I think, I look back at a group call that you were on one time and you're like asking me to look over your content. And I can't remember how much you were posting, but I think I was kind of getting on to you about like, yo, bro, like I think you just need to take more shots and like chill out a little bit.
Yeah, I was always stressed at the beginning of, okay, I've been doing it for 3 months every day. Why am I not seeing results? And then it always goes back to sometimes it takes years. Sometimes there's no time limit. You just have to trust that it will work out eventually. And the people who succeed are the ones who just never give up. And that's why if I go a couple weeks without getting a client, I'm not going to get discouraged because I know that I want to be doing this for the rest of my life. Who cares about 2 weeks when I'm 27 years old?
Yeah, that's such a good perspective. Because a lot of people, they like see online coaching and they're like, does it work? I'm like, yeah, of course it does.
You just have to be willing to not see the results within a week. Like, trust that do the right things, it will work out for you. I had my best week and then followed it up with 2 weeks of nothing and then just continue to put out good stuff, do what I do, and know that it will eventually correct itself.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm super stoked for your progress, dude, and honored to serve you. I think it's been super cool to see your progression, and I'm excited to see what the future holds. So,
Thank you. Yeah, I
and
appreciate that.
yeah,
Me
I'll see you in
too.
Chicago too,
Sweet. Yeah, a couple weeks away. I'm looking forward to it.
for sure. Well, Justin, just in case anybody out there thinks that you're AI and that this was all scripted, where can people find you?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram and TikTok at HPL Mental Performance, and my new YouTube, I think, is just the same username, HPL Mental Performance. Check me out there.
Sick, bro. Well, cool. I appreciate you jumping on. Thank you so much, Justin.
Yeah, thank you, Nick.
If you're a coach watching this right now and you haven't booked a call with us, what are you doing? Go ahead, book a call with us down below. Either way, Justin, thanks for jumping on. We'll catch you guys in the next one.